Have you ever looked around and felt something is shifting? In Matthew 24, Jesus talks about the end times, revealing signs that will make you question everything. He warns his disciples about wars, famines, and false prophets. What do these signs say about our world today? Let's dive into this prophecy to uncover the truth we can't ignore. Imagine the disciples sitting on the Mount of Olives, staring at Jesus with wide eyes. They ask, "When will this happen?" Jesus responds with a list of events that sound like today's headlines: conflicts, disasters, and deceptions. Are we living these signs now? This passage is a wake-up call for all of us. Jesus speaks of false messiahs who will deceive many. How often have you seen promises of salvation that lead nowhere? He calls us to discernment because time is short. Matthew 24 is an invitation to stay alert. Are you prepared for what's coming? Think of a time when you felt afraid of the future. Jesus doesn't promise an easy path, but he offers hope. The one who endures to the end will be saved. This message confronts us. Are we steadfast in faith or swept away by the world's chaos? The time to decide is now. Another scene from Matthew 24. Jesus compares the end times to the days of Noah. People ate, drank, lived normally until the flood came. Today, many ignore God's signs. Are you living as if everything will stay the same, or are you hearing Jesus' warning? Let's share a real story. I met a man named Raphael who lived carefree until a crisis led him to Matthew 24. He realized he needed to align his life with God. Raphael changed, and his faith guided him through tough times. Are you ready to answer this call? Jesus also speaks of the tribulation, a time of suffering like never before. But he promises that for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. This hope is powerful, but it demands vigilance. Are you watchful or distracted by the world's noise? Matthew 24 teaches about urgency. Jesus says the Son of Man will come like a thief at an unexpected hour. The time to prepare is now, not tomorrow. What if you're waiting for the right moment to draw closer to God? This prophecy is a warning. The moment is today.
As
Jesus, with authority, reveals that no one knows the day or hour, not even the angels. This challenges us to live each day as if it were the last. Are you living with purpose, or just letting life pass by? Matthew 24 is a call to wake up before it's too late. Before we move on, let me ask, are these signs stirring something in you? Are they making you rethink your faith? All right, let's dig deeper. Matthew 24 is a roadmap of the end-time signs, and Jesus doesn't hide the gravity of what's coming. Speaks of wars, earthquakes, and persecutions that will test everyone's faith. How often have you felt the weight of a world in chaos? This passage calls us to look beyond fear. Jesus warns of false prophets who will deceive even the elect if possible. Have you noticed how seductive ideas can lead us astray? He urges discernment to avoid traps. Are you seeking the truth or falling for empty promises? Back to the comparison with Noah's days. People lived without a care until destruction came. Jesus warns that the same could happen today. We're so busy that we miss the signs. Matthew 24 is an invitation to open our eyes. Think of a time when you ignored an important warning. Jesus says the signs are there, but many overlook them. The coming of the Son of Man will be sudden, like lightning. Are you prepared for that moment? Or do you think there's plenty of time? Another real story. I met a woman named Clara, who was caught up in her routine until a tragedy led her to Matthew 24. She realized she needed to prioritize her faith. Clara changed her life, and now lives with purpose. What sign is God showing you right now? Jesus also speaks of the gospel being preached to the whole world before the end. This reminds us that God's plan is bigger than our fears. Even in tough times, his message reaches everyone. Are you part of this mission, or just watching? The parable of the faithful and wicked servant in Matthew 24 is a shock. The faithful servant is found working when the master returns, but the wicked one is caught unprepared. This confronts us. Are we serving God or living for ourselves? The time to choose is now. Jesus emphasizes vigilance. Watch, for you don't know when your Lord is coming. This urgency challenges us to live with intention. Are you living each day knowing Jesus could return at any moment? Matthew 24 also speaks of hope. Despite the hard times, Jesus promises to return in glory. This promise gives us strength to endure. Are you holding on to this hope or lost in the world's chaos? Before we head to the third part, let me ask, is this message hitting home? Now let's get to the heart of Matthew 24. But first, if you're enjoying this reflection, join us. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to stay updated with messages like this. Let's grow in faith together. Ready for more? Here we go. Matthew 24 is an alert we can't ignore. Jesus describes a world full of tribulations, with false prophets and disasters. But he also offers hope. The Son of Man will return in glory. This forces us to ask, are we ready for that day, or living as if it'll never come? Back to the parable of the faithful servant. The servant who works diligently is rewarded, but the lazy one faces judgment. This challenges us. Are we being faithful with what God entrusted to us? Time is short, and Matthew 24 is a call to responsibility. Jesus speaks of the Son of Man's coming like lightning across the sky. No one will miss it. How often do we get distracted by routine and forget time is limited? This passage confronts us. The time to prepare is now. Think of a time when you put off something important. Jesus warns that the Lord's return will be unexpected. There won't be a second chance to prepare. Are you living with this urgency, or delaying what God asks of you? Another real story. I met a young man named Daniel, who lived without thinking about the future until Matthew 24 woke him up. He decided to live each day for God, and his life gained meaning. What area of your life needs an urgent wake-up call? Jesus also mentions the separation at the end. One will be taken, another left. This reminds us that our choices have eternal consequences. Are you living in a way that reflects eternity, or just focused on the present? The parable of the thief in the night reinforces urgency. Jesus says if we knew the thief's hour, we'd be ready. But since we don't, we must always watch. Are you vigilant or distracted by the world's noise? Matthew 24 calls us to action. Jesus doesn't want us paralyzed by fear, but living with purpose. The gospel will be preached to all nations, and we're part of that plan. Are you contributing to this mission? Jesus, with authority, warns us not to be deceived. He promises that, despite the chaos, his return will be glorious. This gives hope, but also responsibility. Are you living as someone awaiting the King? Before we wrap up, let me ask, are these signs challenging you? Are they making you rethink your faith? We've reached the final part. Let's close this reflection on Matthew 24 with a bang. If you're enjoying this, give the video a thumbs up because it helps us spread this powerful message. Here we go. Matthew 24 is a call to vigilance. Jesus warns that the end will come like a thief, and only the prepared will be ready. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. What matters is what you do now. Are you living with the urgency this moment demands? Back to Jesus' promise. He says he'll return in glory, and every eye will see him. This hope gives us strength to face challenges, but it also confronts us. Are we living for that moment, or caught in the world's distractions? Think of one last story. I met a woman named Sophia, who lived without thinking about the future until Matthew 24 made her reflect. She decided to align her life with God, and her faith guided her through uncertain times. Is your life prepared for Jesus' return? The signs of Matthew 24, wars, famines, false prophets, are all around us. Jesus calls us not to fear, but to endure. Time is short, and each day is a chance to live for God. Are you seizing that chance? Another point is Jesus' authority. He speaks clearly about the end, not to scare us, but to prepare us. Matthew 24 is an invitation to live with eternal purpose. Are you living as if each day is a divine opportunity? The parable of the faithful servant reminds us that God expects faithfulness. The servant who works is rewarded, but the lazy one faces consequences. This challenges us. Are we being faithful with what God entrusted to us, or just living for ourselves? Matthew 24 also speaks of community. Jesus says the gospel will reach all nations, and we're part of that. When we live with vigilance, we inspire others to do the same. Are you being a light to those around you? The hope of Matthew 24 is clear. Jesus will return. But this promise comes with a warning. Be ready. The time to prepare is now, not tomorrow. Are you living as someone awaiting the King's return? I want to end with a request. Drop a comment below sharing what Matthew 24 stirred in you. How did these signs challenge you? Let's build this faith community together. See you next time, and may God bless you.